to this video in the continuing introductory series to the Days of Angels, or the Planetary Archangels, which preside over the energies of the days of the week. There are 10 in all. My plan is for each day, or as the angelic shift approaches for each day, that I'll upload a new video which brings the introduction to the energies of the particular angel of that period of focus. The sundown approaches, so the day changes, and the influence of Archangel Anael comes in, and that shift is one of my favorite times of the week. It's because the Jupiter angel is a very expansive and a very generous and gregarious kind of energy. So that shifting into Friday, which is this lovely, warm, feminine, sumptuous, sensual energy, it can be a really nice time to enjoy a lovely meal, a romantic meal perhaps, or a family meal, or just time with your family. It really feels like a warm celebratory time, or with friends, you know. I also, that Thursday evening period is a lovely time to pamper yourself. We don't always take enough time. Well, I don't. I've been a busy mother for decades, and I haven't always given myself the time to look after my hair and my nails and my foot care. It's normally just the minimum and get on with the work. But no, this angel says, time for you now, in that feminine way. The energy of this angel and this day really balances out the masculine frequency of a Tuesday. But it's not about Tuesday's a great day for men and Friday's a great day for women. They're both important for all of us, because we each have that male and female aspect within us that needs balance. If it's out of balance, well, we'll feel it and others will feel it as well. So the feminine energy, it does very much connect with the feminine aspects of life, and perhaps your female friends and relations. You know, you'll feel that your own mother, and also children. You know, it's a beautiful, soft and friendly, loving energy. And I found when I first made the connection with this angel that one of the things that she drew me to straight away was the needs of my children. It's a good day to tend to their needs, and perhaps also because Friday's an important day. One of the teachings the angels brought me to understand was that Saturday, the Sabbath, you know, the name Saturday it stems from Saturn, the angel of Saturn, but in, I think it's something like 107 languages of the world, it stems from the root of a word that means rest day. And so from Friday night and through Saturday, that is the rest day, and the angels brought that teaching to me very, very swiftly. And because it's so important, we need the day of rest. But I don't want to talk about the Sabbath. That'll have its own video. But Friday is an important day. It is the day of preparation for the Sabbath, because if you're going to have a restful day when Friday evening draws in, then no jobs must be left unattended. So we rarely get everything done in our busy lives, but Friday's a good day to put the hoover around if you use a hoover. Tidy up, perhaps put some fresh flowers on the table if you do that sort of thing. Clean the towels, make sure the soap dispensers are full. Little tasks that need doing, or things that are going to need changing. It's like, if I can see that needs doing by Friday, well, I make sure it's done so that I don't have to tend to it on the Sabbath. I keep the Sabbath as empty of tasks as possible. And perhaps the food that I prepare on a Friday will also be enough to carry into Saturday as well. You know, either a large meal that I can just serve again tomorrow, or perhaps it'll be a cake that can be enjoyed again tomorrow, and that there are nice things that are ready for the family without me having to think of working again tomorrow. And it's great because you take that weekly slot as your tidy up time, and that ensures this continual, you know, sense of order in your home, which otherwise it's very easy to let things slip by the wayside. Especially, for example, as I film this, well, we're the 12th of December as I'm filming it, and we're moving towards Christmas holidays. I've got family coming. There are many things we're trying to get done, and there are half-packed parcels all over the place, and yeah, the home is a lively mess at the moment, and it won't be completely cleaned up in time for the Sabbath, but I will just put that work aside. I'll straighten things out and think, okay, carry on with that on Sunday or Saturday night. But today I put the hoover around. I make sure that I've put the clothes away. I don't leave laundry hanging up to dry. That's all done by Friday. That's done in the early part of the week, so that the home really looks welcoming and beautiful come Friday night. But yes, returning to Friday itself, I found in the early teachings of Friday, because I am a very sensitive female sort, and I found that on a Friday, so I imagine this is the same for all of us, children especially, there's a sensitivity that in which it's quite easy to be bruised, to have your feelings bruised on a Friday. And I've often found through my period of getting to know the energy of this angel, that was one of the repeating teachings coming, that women, perhaps via a text or an email or in person, would cross my path, and they're perhaps they're having a bit of a harsh time. They're really in need of a gentle word or something. And I began to actually be a bit more careful in my interactions with women, in particular my female friends. Perhaps I'd get in touch with them on a Friday. So yeah, Friday's a good day for that kind of communication. But I tend to stay off the computer otherwise, to be honest. I'll check the emails in the morning, but come afternoon, this computer's pretty much switched off, because this angel is not about working on a computer. If that is your job and you can't escape it, well, so be it. But if you have that choice, I found that certainly by Friday afternoon, I wanted to be home where at all possible and concentrating on tidying up. I don't do shopping on a Friday if I can help that. I don't, because the energy of the Friday and this angel, Archangel Anael, is really not about being out in a busy supermarket with that kind of frenzied Friday energy that's like the end of the working week for so many, or the end of the school week. A lot of cars are on the road. A lot of people are doing their shopping because it's the end of that week. But if you have a choice, better to avoid that, because it's a bit of an edgy energy and a bit fast paced. It can be a nice energy that Friday evening, feeling the week's coming to an end. People often have quite an exuberant energy about them, but it can be a bit of a stressful energy as well. There's a sense of rush, and if you're doing your shopping then, and then you've got to come home and put that all away, well, I found it never really left me enough time to prepare myself for the Friday evening when the Sabbath arrived. And I do like to have a shower, change my clothes again out of the pink clothes into white clothes on a Friday evening, which is one of the teachings I was shown to best connect with the angel that will come in on a Friday evening. I might as well give you the sneak peek, because I certainly won't be making a video on a Friday evening. I have learned the real blessed communion time of that Sabbath energy. It is a holy time, and yeah, I don't like my ego to ride roughshod over that. It's me who will lose the blessing. But so this Archangel Metatron over the whole of the tree of life, not so much a planet, but the whole, and the tree of life as in from the Kabbalah. The book will go into that, and I will do a talk on this angel and the Sabbath in its fullness. But anyway, that's white for this evening, and it's got a real purity and holiness to it. But pink has this a warm and sumptuous and sensual energy. Very early on, I found that it's a great day for a sweet treat. The lovely thing with living your week with these angels, because yeah, I found it's great for one, maintaining a more balanced diet. If you fit your meals and the things you eat and drink throughout the day, and periods of fasting, to the frequency of the governing angel, you end up with a lovely sense of balance, and not just for myself but the whole family. Perhaps you've been overindulging in a certain thing and you need to change, and rather than just having some kind of crash diet or something, or just eliminating that, it's just a sweet treat, for example, is perfect for a Thursday evening and a Friday. Perfect time to enjoy that. It can be a healthy sweet treat, you know. It can be really lovely tropical fruits or something. It doesn't have to be like sugar laced sweet things. But yeah, if you eat too much of anything, it can be detrimental. So to achieve that more balanced diet, that Friday's a lovely slot for that sweet treat. Perhaps making some kind of, you know, something a bit special like a cheesecake, dairy and sweet, I would say, with this angel. Yeah. And some of the correspondences that presented to me with this angel, they're all listed in the book. There's obviously the color pink, and then there's these sweet and sensual foods, and often as well things that remind you of your own childhood, of sweet memories. I would sometimes get a smell. I would just smell a smell. It wasn't around me, but I could smell something like candy floss or Neapolitan ice cream, or things that reminded me of really happy childhood holidays, or just happy times with my parents in our family home. And so it's that whole sweet energy again of family and children and parents. Yeah, very nice. I could even hear sometimes my mother's laugh, my dear mother, who's no longer with us. But how lovely that I'd hear her laugh on a Friday and feel a real sense of gratitude for everything that she did for me, much of which I hadn't appreciated until I was a mother myself, and she had moved on by then. But I think that she could sense my gratitude from whichever place she's in. Yeah. So yeah, flowers, fresh flowers is very nice in the home for the Sabbath. And this angel, she, you know, at first I had assumed that because this is the angel of Venus, that the color would be green, the planetary color would be green, and there is a green association for sure of and on the back I've bordered this page in green. Pink is the dominant color of this angel once you have assimilated and really fully understood the qualities that each angel, there's a sense of holiness and purity about their qualities and their teachings. But as you learn them, you tend to balance out the negative planetary tendencies. And I went through this with the Mars video that I did. And so with the Venus negatives, it can be, well, you take that gentle sensual energy, and but on the other extreme it can be quite lustful and what's the word, hedonistic. Let's look at the constraints, the negative blocks to this angel's energy. That's what I've got written in the book, things that, ways of being that blocks the flow of this energy. Mental constraints, because this angel is not about the intellectual side of things. It's the flow of love in nature and in relationships, especially. Yes, relationships, that would be a real key term. Loving relationships of all kinds. I know I focused on the female aspect, but it's loving relationships, you know, and romantic relationships, especially, really. Beautifying yourself and your surroundings. That's all part of the getting ready for the Sabbath, but also, like I said, that time to pamper yourself, And perhaps, this angel really kind of cared that I looked nice in the clothes that I chose to wear. Yes, there's a healing action of love. I used to wear green. I just assumed I'd wear green, and then I began the connection with the angel experiment. And yes, a connection was made, the teachings began, but I wasn't wearing pink back then. I'd be wearing green. I assumed this is the angel of Venus. There's going to be a very a high element of relationship with nature. And there is that relationship with all angels, with nature to some degree. But I had wrongly assumed that would be the predominant frequency for this angel. And I used to spend a lot of time in the garden on a Friday, even though I was aware that it was the day of preparation and I should be getting things tidy in the home and made ready. If it was a sunny day, I would be out there in the garden working with the plants. But the hours slip by very quickly in the garden. And on a sunny day, what a lovely place to be. And I found that I would always overstay my time out there and then be rushing to get the other jobs done, and perhaps even not get them all done. And then I would regret it, because by the time Friday afternoon had become the time to serve the meal, and then the evening was approaching, well, I'd missed that chance. It was the Sabbath and it was time to rest. And you can't, well, you can do whatever you will at any time of day, but you won't receive the blessing of the angelic current that is prevailing unless you are making the connection and making the decision that you're going to move with that. If you do let your activities, your daily activities of the week, flow with that angelic cycle, you get everything done. There is a perfect time for everything, and nothing gets missed. It really is wonderful. The balance quickly shows in your life. It's great. The things that you've been avoiding become dealt with. Everything seems to grow like this at the same level. They're not out of balance. Stress levels go right down. It seems that time has stretched out, and it's as if you're moving within what I call the universal flow. Well, it is a universal flow. The angels move within it. Yeah, it's the pattern of the 7-day week that was there right back in the creation. These 7 days, and you can look at what happened on the 6th day. What was created? The animals, which was all the animals and the creeping things, the insects, and man, all made on the 6th day according to the book of Genesis. And I found that I was expecting my relationship with plants to be very obvious on a Friday, as I said, by assumption. But no, very early on I was shown a relationship with insects, which I've never really had before, especially the little beautiful, there's so many of them there, they've got these fantastic colours, absolutely beautiful. I began to meet insects I'd never seen before in the garden and just look at them and study them and think, wow, how beautiful you are. I don't know their names, but just that appreciation. And it's a lovely day I find, to make sure I'm looking after the needs of the pets as well that we've got. And water is a key connecting thing for this angel as well. It is on a Monday with Archangel Gabriel, but also with this angel, I think, because we need water for life, and it brings life to the garden. And yeah, certainly it's a good time to bathe the tortoises, or to check all that their water bowls are topped up, and to water the plants as well. That's an activity I do on the Friday rather than them becoming neglected. So plant care, pet care, child care, personal health care, care for your female friends and relations, and care for just loving care generally. love your neighbor, love your fellow man. Just love, and the healing action of love is a yeah. I've seen that work out a lot on a Friday, and on that point, I noticed that, yes, I was saying about how I used to wear green, and I found that wearing green tended to keep my focus on the outside world, the green world. Once the angel herself taught me through lessons which are told in the book that the colour was not green, it was pink. Once I began to wear pink, that desire to spend all day in the garden left me. It was astonishing, really, because I really didn't think that the colour could have such a strong effect, but it did. It brought that nurturing energy to the fore. And I found in my interactions with all people, because of the colour pink, it was a gentler interaction. It's not just that I see it about me, but they see it too. We can't but help but respond to the colour. It's on a subconscious level, but if someone's dressed in red, that's a very bold and vibrant energy. There's a strength to that. It might seem like you feel the strength of their will. But and if someone's perhaps all in black, you've got a different kind of frequency. But pink does something very soft and gentle, and it will affect your interactions with people. It's quite a common thing, the effect of colour. And but yes, to certainly wear something of that colour on the day will keep that connection in your own mind, and it'll affect others that you interact with. I think that's about all I'll say on this Angel of Friday for now. The key phrase that I mentioned in the last video, well, the key phrase for this angel is, all you need is love, because love really is, well, God is love. So what more can I say? Thank you for watching. I hope you received something here again, and may God and the angels bless your days.